All right, welcome to GEG Idaho Launch. I believe we are live now. I'm hoping we are live now. Can we get some comments on Twitter or on YouTube if you're actually seeing us now? Ooh, look, I think we are on.
Wow.
Okay, there's a little bit of a time delay. So hopefully y'all are seeing us. Okay, so right now we're gonna kick off. This is I'm Karen Compton, co-host Paige Samoza.
Hi, you guys. I'm Paige Samoza. We might as well get started with introducing ourselves. I'm currently an instructional support specialist with the Boise School District. I am also a PBS digital innovator, and I am a Google trainer as well. And I am ISTE certified, and I've presented at national ISTE conferences as well. My son just moved out of the house, so I'm an empty nester with my husband now. So that's just a little bit about me. Karen, do you want to go ahead and talk about you?
I do. So actually, I'm going to just pop it back to our amazing little faces here. So we're using a back room called StreamYard. And you know, we like to model that just like with any other technology, that there's times it works and times that you just want to start crying because it doesn't look like it's working. So that is what we are demonstrating for you today. Oops, okay, I think I'm good. Are we still good? Any sort of chats would be amazing so that we know if you're seeing what we think you are seeing. Anyone? Yes. Are we there? Are we still on? Chats? We're going to pretend like we're on and see what happens. All right. So again, thank you, Paige, for getting us going. If you'd like to share this link out, we'd appreciate it. It's at bit.ly GEG Idaho Launch, and you are welcome to share that out. Sorry, this is really nerve-wracking, but I know you guys all know how this feels because I know you guys have all had your same experiences with technology and streaming and kids lately. So we are launching the GEG Idaho.
The live stream is offline.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna check that again. Thank you all. Let's do this. Let's do this, Paige. Let's do this and this and this, and then let's try this and okay, and this, and all right. Are we back on? Are we seeing things? Refresh. Yes. Okay. I had it for a second. One moment. There's only one person watching. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. You see it on YouTube? Can I get some thumbs up if I think there's like a bit of a delay, which is why. Oh, yeah, look, I think we're on. We're good. We're good. We're live. We're good.
Okay. We're good.
Whew. All right. And that is how you demonstrate how to fail forward and how to not be afraid of failure. Thank you all for coming. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the end. Okay. So we have a lineup of some amazing educators for you tonight to get some more information about Google certifications, and what we're really planning on doing with this group. So you can see that we have Katie Mason coming in for Google Certification Level 1. We have the amazing Jim Wittich coming in for Level 2. We have Carrie Wardle and Paige will be connecting on what to do with integrating other aspects of Google to other modules and
certifications.
Thank you. This is why
programs.
we have to team.
Yes,
definitely. And then I will follow up with just my experience with Innovator and what the whole imposter syndrome has been like in my life. So we got Paige, we got me. GEG Idaho, so it's independently run. This is just with us. So it is about us reaching out, connecting, and helping each other. I know that with a lot of other GEGs, it's one of those in the middle of the when you need help with something that you can get on the Facebook, you can get on Twitter. I said the Facebook, like that was terrible. Instagram, and reach out and connect with people. It's about inspiring and helping and supporting. There are options for monthly meetups, online sessions, social media. Hopefully at some point we'll get to see people in person. I get to see Paige, but we're in the same bubble, so there's that. And then to share, learn, and collaborate.
So we're going to go ahead and get started, but before we get started, we want to go ahead and do a drawing for those that have participated. So our first drawing is brought to you by Idaho Public Television, and we have Carrie Wardle from Idaho Public Television with us right now. And so it's the first drawing is for the Startup Teacher Playbook. And this is by a friend of Carrie's who also used to be employed by PBS, Darcy Backegard. So we're super excited for this drawing. And the winner of this would be Leslie Altman. So
oh wow, you're shipping that sucker to Australia. Woo! Down under, she'll be very excited.
So Leslie, if you want to email us at GEG Idaho or gegidaho@gmail.com, we will certainly get you your prize. So
yay!
The shipping probably costs more than the book, but that's okay.
We'll figure that one out.
Thank you for coming in. Okay, so now I would like to present our first guest. So today we're talking about a lot of things. So we're going to talk about, as Karen said, Google certification level 1 and level 2. We're also going to be talking about other ways that the GEG group can integrate into all aspects of technology education. So I love Katie. I have the privilege of working with her this year. She's a passionate educator who focuses on successful teaching techniques and standard-based instruction to maximize student engagement. She has 20 years of teaching experience. She taught in CUNA, and then she also taught in the Boise School District, and now she's up with me as an instructional coach at the District Service Center. So I'm very thankful to have her on my team and have her with us here tonight. She's currently working for us, as I said, and then she's also an Idaho Public Digital Innovator. So Katie's going to tell you about getting your Google certification level 1. So Katie, would you go ahead and share?
Hi, thank you. Good evening, guys. I'm Katie Mason, as I said. So Google certification level 1. If you want to go ahead and to the next slide. All right, so here's the exam. Why take the exam? Are you interested in using the G Suite to further your understanding and application of these tools in the classroom? If you can answer yes, then you'd want to take this exam. So go ahead. And what the exam covers. So Google's cloud-based tools and how to effectively use them in the classroom to meet learning targets and objectives while closing that achievement gap. So you might be already using it, but you want to take it to the next level and have some more resources. So where can you find those trainings? So I did link in the doc the Google Training Center. If you want to click on that link, this is where you can find, maybe it'll load. So this is the training center, and if you scroll down, this is where you can find all of the quizzes and the tests and the information for taking level 1. And so you can go through each task. That's what I would recommend, and take the little quiz at the end, and then see how you did. And then you can actually take the final exam. So if you go ahead and go back, and then next slide. Okay, so some logistics. Whoops. There we go. So it costs $10 to take the exam. I would recommend signing up to take the exam at least 48 hours in advance. I took the level 2 recently, and it did take me a good 48 hours to get the exam created, because they create your exam for yourself. There are 13 sections to complete. And if you're doing those tasks in that training center, I would say when you take the quiz, make sure you have about an 80% at least on those quizzes, and then you should be successful in the actual exam. So, and they're really helpful, and they'll train you on every single section. So let's talk about each section on the next slide. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so section 1 talks about groups and Google searching. So you'll be working through those. And then section 2 talks about forms. Oops, I don't see my PowerPoint anymore. I just see me. I don't know where you went. I can pull it up though. I can't see my actual PowerPoint, guys. Oh, now I see some beautiful clouds. So I'm just going to keep chatting, and then maybe they can fix that. So section 2 talks about forms, the drive, Google Classroom, slides, docs, drawings, and sheets. So you'll be working through tasks that deal with each of those components. Section 3 is talking about calendar, Google Keep, and Gmail. So you'll be doing tasks that are related to those. And section 4 is working through your Drive, your Google Drive, Google Hangouts, and Google Docs. And then the last portion of the quiz or test talks about slides and the Learning Center and Google Earth. And then we work through some YouTube and Chrome tasks. So those are the areas that you need to work on. Level 1's pretty basic, I would say. But if you go ahead and go through those, each of those task cards, then you should be ready to go. A few things. The exam, you have 3 hours to take it in. And for me, at least the first time I took the Google Level 1 exam, it did take me the full 3 hours. The Level 2, it didn't take me as long, but that Level 3 one, or the first one, did take me the full 3 hours. And make sure you find a quiet space. I always like to say my little story for that was I took it on like a Friday night in the evening after I put my kids to bed, and my husband wasn't home. So it was like perfect kind of, quiet time. And I started the test, and I was on camera, and the timer was going. And then my smoke detector, one of them in the house, started like beeping like it was the battery was dying. So the entire 3 hours of my test, I could hear the beeping in the background. So make sure you have a quiet space with no distractions. That was kind of crazy for me. But anyways, that's what I have on Level 1. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Happy to answer anything. Yeah. All right. Well, good luck with the quiz, the test. Yeah. All right. Thank you, you guys.
We were
Learning. We're learning
through here. But we want to thank you for all of the great information with the test. What do you think the hardest part of the test was for you?
I think I'm back. Oh, I'm back on. I think just reading through those scenario sections and like really figuring out what they were really asking. So, but I went through all the tests. I actually went through a course through the Boise School District, and they took us through each section. So that really helped me, which is pretty much what that, if you go onto that training site, it kind of helps you. It'll help you do the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. And I think we're offering that course to Google Bootcamp. I would love to bring that to GEG Idaho. If people would be interested in that, we can definitely do that for you too. So thank you so much. And if you guys are interested in presenting, I promise you it will be much smoother next time. This is our first time through, as you guys know, so we'll be better prepared. But we have a form that you can fill out, And what we usually do, we're open to anything. So it doesn't have to be Google products. It can be anything techie that you want to present on and best practices. So our next presenter, do you want to go ahead and talk about Jim, please?
Yes.
Karen?
Hello, Mr. Woodish. How are you today? Oh, wait, hold on. Now, how are you? Woo!
Good, thank you.
Excellent. Okay, Jim, do you want to share a little bit about your background and what your connection to Google is?
All right. Well, I am a teacher from the Coeur d'Alene area. I've taught 5th grade classrooms, both in person and fully online. And then also for the last, well, except for last year when I was all online with 5th graders, I have taught in our school district's advanced learning program for 3rd through 5th grade students, reading and math groups. And as far as my connection to Google, I am a longtime Google user. As an educator, I've been involved in the planning team for Idaho, EdCamp Idaho, and the Idaho Kids Vote Book Award, both of which have been heavily powered by Google. And let's see, otherwise, my wife is an educator in Idaho too, Sarah. And let's see, I have recently taken up longboarding so I can keep up with her on her roller skates. And our daughter Amelia is an avid skateboarder, so keeping up with her too is, I needed wheels.
Excellent. I love it. All right. We're going to pop out and let you go ahead and get started on your presentation. And I'm so sorry, Katie. We had it open. I had a separate monitor going, and then the monitor turned off. So we were literally in the dark for a minute trying to figure things out. So again, appreciate your patience to the participants and our presenters. And here's Jim.
Okay. Let's see. So, okay. So my presentation is about becoming a level 2 certified educator. I actually got my certification just before the 2019-2020 school year, and I have and used it even more than I expected to in these last couple years. All right, so I kind of did a little navigation thing here. So if we go to the next slide, oh, back one. If we go to that next slide, kind of it pops down there. We've got my first thing is, why do you go for level 2 certification? And the first is that in earning your level 2 certification, you are going to learn about some of the Google tools that you have maybe not heard of before. Blogger, Scholar, Google Sites, Jamboard. Those were all tools that I had used only a little before that certification, and it is great to learn more about those. Once you know those tools, you can do some app smashing. You can take all these different Google tools, use them together, use them with other apps, and what comes out of it is streamlining, making things, automating tasks, making things clearer for students. All of that can come from the learning that you'll go through to earn your level 2 certification. All right, so my personal story with this is, do we have any other Alta Vista fans out there? That was the best search engines got before Google. Google changed the game there. And then I got started using Google Docs in 2009. I have been a dedicated Chromebook user since 2014. In fact, we have eliminated Windows and Apple computers from our household. It is Chromebooks and one Linux machine now. And there is so much great. What is great about Google is how much it allows for online collaboration. If you're already using Google Docs, you know how easy it is to have people work on something from all over the world, and all of the Google Suite is built for that online collaboration. Okay. So the way to prepare for level 2 is first start with really reflecting on your experience, knowing the things that you can already do well with Google, thinking about, how do you use Google to solve problems in your classroom? And also think, are there some tools that are still absolutely foreign to you that you need to learn more about? Because the level 2 exam does cover the entire Google ecosystem. And then to prepare, Google has training. They have their advanced training course that I've linked there. If you wouldn't mind, if it's possible to go live and show that advanced training course, that'd be great. Oh. See, that might have been a big ask. Okay. Well, if it does come up, you will see that it's divided into units. And for me personally, I went through and looked at the different tools that were covered in the units. And let's see. Okay. I looked through the different tools that were covered in the units and figured out just which units I needed to work on. I did not do the entire, I think it's a 15-hour course. I felt like I had a level of comfort that I could pick and choose from there. There's also a unit review at the end of each unit, and the things that it's like, I'm pretty sure I know this, I'd go through that unit review, and that let me know if it was something I needed to explore more. There are a few other options to prepare. I know the IETA conference every February usually offers Google Bootcamp. There was talk earlier about Google Bootcamp. You could possibly find a mentor. That may be something that happens through Idaho GEG, or then also your instructional coaches may be able to help you prepare. So just like we said in the first presentation, it's good to register in advance. It can take up to 48 hours for the test to show up and be available to you. All right, so when you're taking the test, you can look things up as you take the test. I had 2 Chromebooks on my lap while I took the test, one for looking things up, one for actually taking the test. Or if you had a 2-monitor computer available, which I did not at that time, that would work just as well. You are absolutely allowed to look things up because in the real world, I mean, I've been doing tons of spreadsheets the last few weeks with student data. I'm looking up formulas all the time. That's how we use Google. I say get into it. Be a method actor here. There are scenarios. Imagine that you are that teacher. How would you solve that problem? And finally, once you earn your certification, don't keep it a secret. I've put my certification badge at the bottom of my email signature. It definitely should go on your resume. Just remember, there is a 3-year validity for your certification. So keep track of that expiration date, and you'll either need to retake the test or, drop it from your email after that. All right. So thanks so much. And I hope we'll have more people becoming Google certified level 2.
Jim, thank you so much. Again, apologize for the glitches, but you're a champ, man. You can tell the teachers that have got it. You and Katie both just kept it going, and ain't nothing gonna break your stride.
Okay.
We should bust into some
it sounds
karaoke.
like Tyler asked a question in the Twitter chat, which I kind of set aside while I was talking there. Let's see. Did you catch his question at
I'm
all?
going to ask a really tough question. What advantage does Google EDU offer, and why would I want to go through the Google Certified Edu process?
Okay, and I know Tyler is a Microsoft guy.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not sure in your situation, Tyler, it would make sense to do level 1 and level 2, but just going through that level 1 certification really, I think, can help with that familiarity in order to collaborate with other educators across the state and outside Idaho that are using Google. I know I try to keep a foot in the Microsoft world too, because even though I'm in a heavily Google district, I'm still dealing with a lot of Microsoft Office documents too. And there are things that both worlds, I think, do better than the other. Like, I don't do mail merge through Google. That's that one for me. I stick with Office. And I know others that if it's a collaborative document, they want it in Google, even if they're normally a Microsoft user.
No, that's great. And Jim, I totally agree with everything you said. It's funny because actually we're going to stop and do a drawing and thank you properly and everything. But the next segment we have is actually Carrie Wardle and Paige Somoza discussing about integrations and the benefits of having those other skills. So the idea of Adobe or ISTE or Microsoft. And I don't know if you've experienced this or not, Jim, and without stepping on their presentation, but it does seem that Google has the idea of we want educators succeeding, doing the best they can. And yes, of course, use their products. But even if you don't, it's the idea that you can, use cross platforms, multiple modalities in order to connect with kids. So to me, one of the major reasons is to learn new skills, learn new tools, and then to just try to be a better teacher and have a cohort. So thank you, Jim, very much. We appreciate, and we have Jim and Carrie and Katie also jumping on our the Idaho Ed Chat. If you want to follow that along, they're trying to keep up with your tweets both there and in the comments on YouTube. So if you have a question and it didn't get answered, maybe just repost it and we'll try to come back around to you. All right. At that point, I believe we have another drawing.
Yes, we have another drawing, and this is for a $25 Amazon gift card. And drum roll. And the Frederic Ballou, I think I say Ballou. Sorry, I was a French teacher in my former life, so I'm going to give you a little French accent. But you won a $25 Amazon gift card.
Ooh.
So if you would email gegidaho@gmail.com, we will make sure to send you that. That's an electronic gift card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
who's that sponsor on that one?
Oh, that's Idaho Feels Like Home Realty.
Yay! If you are looking to move to Idaho or anywhere in the United States, please reach out and we'll connect you with Idaho Feels Like Home Realty, and they will get you in the right direction. And everybody's moving to Idaho right now.
Yeah, that's true. And then I think we have, did we do the second drawing or did we not do that drawing yet? Have we only done 2 drawings?
Ooh, I feel like we shouldn't ask them. They'll all be like, yeah, only 2. We need more stuff.
Well, I want to do one more. Okay. And this is for Tyler Keefe, who's a regular participant on Idaho Ed Chat. And we have a Mr. Rogers coffee mug for you.
Oh.
Oh, so I was going to bring mine, but the coffee mug, you pour hot water in it, and Mr. Rogers goes from his blazer, his suit outside, to his sweater like Mr. Jim Windlich over there. So congratulations. Go ahead and send us email, and we'll get that to you as soon as we can. Okay, thank you.
Excellent.
So it's my pleasure to present Carrie. I'm going to be talking with her tonight. And Carrie currently works as the education manager for Idaho Public Television. And I met her, 4 years ago, Carrie?
Almost 5, I think. Yeah.
Almost 5 years ago. And I met her through PBS when I started doing work with them. And then I started doing work with Idaho Public Television. She is amazing. She's a PBS Media Literacy Certified Educator. She's Google Level 2 certified teacher and a certified Microsoft Innovator Educator and an Apple teacher. She obtained her BA in K-8 in interdisciplinary studies from the Western Governors University and her MED in instructional design and technology from Idaho State University. So she's muy qualified for this position. And then, wait, forget about it. Hey, Karen, can you guys see my slide, by the way?
No.
Carrie? No? So I'm going to be presenting with Carrie, and we're going to talk about how these slideshows.
Oh, I thought it was on there. Let's try one more time to make this happen.
It flashed up for a minute and then it went off.
Oh, we didn't mean to flash all of you. I'm sorry. My bad. We'll get this back on here.
Okay. And I can just press the arrow. Yes. Okay. And so we're going to present on how Google certifications integrate with other programs. And so, Carrie, why don't you go ahead and get started?
Thanks, Paige. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. And I wanted to just say, and I sort of mentioned this in the chat, but Paige said I'm an Apple certified, I'm an MIE certified, and I'm also Google. And the question was, why do all of those? And for me, I love having the knowledge to know which platform to use for which task, right? Because as Jim kind of mentioned, sometimes Microsoft's better for some things, but other times Google is better. And so having that knowledge has really been, I think, beneficial to me. But what I really wanted to start out talking about is the PBS Media Literacy Certified, the educator certification. This is a really great and pretty robust and rigorous program. So my belief is that if you are going to be out doing all things Google on the internet and using Google products, we really, as teachers, right, should be media literate. We should understand copyright laws. We should understand how to create media, and kind of all of those things go hand in hand. And so the PBS Media Literacy Educator Certification was created by a member station, KQED. It's a really great program. You earn 8, they call them micro credentials, where you get a badge. And then after you earn all 8 of those, you automatically become a media literacy certified educator, a PBS Media Literacy Certified Educator. And I lead a cohort, an online cohort. It is just a self-paced program. There should be links, I'm hoping, dropping in chats here to get you there. You certainly can just sign up and go through the whole thing yourself. But what I have found in my 3rd year now of leading an online cohort through this is that often that support and collaboration and kind of camaraderie of having a group of people has been really beneficial to educators. Last time I checked, Idaho had the highest number of PBS Media Literacy Certified Educators in the state, in the country. So I'm really proud of that. And so I hope that we get more. I'm currently running a cohort. We run them online. We meet monthly. We talk about the micro credentials. We say exactly what you need. The cool thing about this is that if you're already techie, if you already are using these things, a lot of what you're doing, you can use and submit as artifacts for this. So if you want more information, you can visit idahoptv.org/PD, like for professional development. You'll see a place to sign up to join. The cohort I lead lasts an entire school year. We meet every month. We discuss a micro-credential a month and talk about what you need to submit it, with the goal that at the end of that sort of 8-month period, you become media literacy certified. There's no cost for this, for you to do this. And so you can work through it kind of at your own pace. And it's probably one of my favorite things. I think now more than ever, we know the importance of understanding media literacy, and the way we teach media literacy to our students is for us to understand it as teachers. And so we did do an introductory webinar already, but there is still time for you to join. You can also apply for a university professional development credit, actually 3 professional development credits if you join the online cohort and work through that with us. So I'd love to have you join that if you're interested, or if you just have questions, you can reach out to me. So that's my part about the media literacy certification. Paige is going to talk about ISTE, I believe. Certification.
Yeah. So my ISTE certification, I actually got my ISTE certification before I got my Google Level 1, my Google and my training. And this is just kind of a natural progression for me as well. I went through the ISTE process, and while I was going through this, I used a lot of Google products in my certification process. And so I had friends that were doing Google Level 1, Google Level 2, like Karen, and they're like, you should just get your certification. And it actually turned out to be super easy. I think the hardest thing for me after going through the ISTE certification process was the Google Level 1 exam, where that's more of like the basic nuts and bolts. And then as I moved through the Level 2, which is I would say more about how to use those things, which that's what I'm good at, is using those types of products. That was easier. And then for me, because of doing the ISTE certification process, the trainer was probably the easiest one to get, because I applied a lot of what I did during the ISTE certification to my Google Trainer process. And so for me, the trainer was the easiest out of the Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, the Google Trainer to get. So it was kind of an interesting thing. And then this kind of leads with all of those certifications. If you have, and you don't have to have your Google Level 1, Level 2 to be a part of GEG. Like I said, ISTE, I was still a part. I joined in Global GEG for some smackdowns, as they called them, to teach new products during the pandemic. And I wasn't certified at that point, but because I was part of a community like we're trying to build here, I was able to do that. And so that kind of leads to some other opportunities. Getting those certifications and being part of those communities connects you with people, and Carrie can talk more about that.
Yeah, so we have a couple of ways that we connect with people. I'm excited to tell you that in Idaho, we do a local Idaho Digital Innovator, Idaho Public Television Digital Innovator nomination process once a year. So every school year we allow people to nominate an innovative teacher that they know of. And it's a quick form you fill out and a letter that you write to nominate them. We then select one person to be the digital innovator for that school year. That's what Katie Mason was for last year. Paige was, I think, 4 years ago when I first started working for Idaho Public Television. That's how we connected. We bring you in and help you have you do professional development trainings with us. We provide a all expense paid trip to NCCE if it's ever in person again. And we also give the digital innovator we call it a classroom innovation kit. I think last year Katie used hers to get an iPad and some Osmo kits for her classroom. And then we do a fun little video spot and come to your classroom and which also we didn't do with Katie, but I'm going to talk to you about that. And then what we do is from that pool of digital innovators, partly we just love to elevate people who are doing innovative things in Idaho, educators who are really kind of taking that to the next step. Nominations are typically in March, so that's a little ways away. You can find it on our website again, idahoptv.org/digital innovator. You can see Paige's cool video, and when the nominations open up in March, that's where they will be. So if you know of a great teacher, including yourself, you can nominate yourself or you can nominate another teacher. And then from that pool of innovative educators on a local state level, we nominate them to participate in the PBS Digital Innovator All-Star Program, which is a national program, which Paige is going to talk a little bit more about here. And so you can be selected from the pool of our local innovators to work with PBS on a national level. So Paige, do you want to talk about your experience with the PBS Digital Innovator All-Star Program?
Oh, yes, I would. So PBS Digital Innovator All-Star, I just had to put the bottom picture, the Idaho PBS bunch. That was with the other digital innovator, Gabe. We did a little Brady Bunch thing. We presented at NCCE. I was nominated to become a PBS Digital Innovator All-Star, which Karen will talk about this. It's kind of like that. Who, me? Really? You have this imposter syndrome. And I think we all do. We don't understand. We just think that what we're doing is normal in the classroom, but actually what we're doing, us participating in this Idaho Ed Chat tonight, us being part of GEG Idaho, this is something special. And these are the things that television shows or television stations like PBS and Idaho Public Television, they recognize that what we're doing is something special and we're being innovative for Idaho. So I was super lucky that I got to be a part of the PBS Digital Innovator All-Stars. I've been to ISTE in Chicago, ISTE in San Antonio. I've presented at ISTE in Philadelphia, which has been amazing. So gaining all of these experiences, as you've seen, they used one of my quotes about Mr. Roger, who was my hero growing up. So it's kind of crazy that just moving through these certifications with ISTE and Google has brought me to the point that I'm at. And then like the biggest thing for me, I want you to look here. Who's in the bottom right-hand corner? Yes, that's right, Ken Burns. So one of the biggest things that I got to do is interview Ken Burns. And this was all because of being part of communities like this. And I'm just so thankful, and it snowballed into this community as well. And I can't wait to see it grow. And I'm excited. So now we're going to take it to Karen.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Carrie. I'm looking through the chat. If you have any specific questions for Carrie that are very PBS based, you can shoot those out right now. And do we see any? Otherwise, I'm gonna get started here in just a moment. Are we good? All right, Carrie, thank you again so very much. Appreciate it. Okay, so it is now up to me to start presenting. And what I want to tag on a little bit with what Paige just said, because I think we as teachers have a hard time putting out there what our certifications and credentials are. And I know that I get very worried about name dropping, like people I've met and come in contact with, because I don't want to sound pretentious. But on the other hand, it is important that we understand to be an educator, to be a teacher, is more than just showing up to school and putting in your time. It is making these extra connections, going that extra mile, achieving this outside education. And it really is amazing to me, a lot of the educators I've met through Google and Adobe and PBS, that they don't get paid for it. I mean, a lot of times the best you get is like some cool swag shipped to you or winning some drawings, but it's the idea that you're improving your education so that you can improve your teaching. And above all, I just am really proud to be part of these communities that do that. So moving, I'm going to make my presentation bigger than my face there. So I do have to say, for me, it all got started with a PLN, and I love that Ms. Janet Avery is joining in, because she played a very pivotal part of this. You'll see as we move forward. But the idea of why would you want one? I love it for ideas, and I'm going to just tell you, I beg, borrow, and steal all the time. In fact, part of my slides later on come from Mr. Abid, the A to the I to the B to the D, or A to the B to the I to the D. Oh man, I can't even spell that right tonight. It's a long night. But the idea that you can borrow from each other, like I freely give my stuff out so that people don't have to spend hours recreating the wheel. Networking, getting help. I can't tell you how many times I've literally texted in the middle of the class, Idaho Ed Chat group, Jim, TJ in Twin Falls, going, hey, does anybody know how to make this work? Because you just need that help. Learning and then celebrating, definitely. So how do you build one? Well, if you're on here now, you've already taken the first step. It is just being present and being involved. And I spent a lot of time just following the chat before I actually participated in it. I spent a lot of time reaching out and connecting with educators like on the side before I felt confident enough to jump in. And that's what I would want to extend to you right now, is a big welcome to just jump in and put yourself out there and just start connecting with people. So Twitter is the best place. You follow them. I like to get on and see who they follow, using tagging, hashtags, putting users on there, and then participating in the ed chats. So my PLN journey actually began with a pirate. Anyone? Does anyone know who this pirate might be? Ooh, check the chat. Anyone? Anyone? Well, it's the pirate that we all know and love. It would be Mr. Dave Burgess with Teach Like a Pirate. And it so happened in July of 2013 that I picked up his book and made a couple, well, that looks like a coffee shop run and maybe an adult beverage run, and got that book read. And I was struck that he actually commented to me. Like, he reached out to me. I was so starstruck that I'm like, what is this Twitter thing where people actually reach out and comment back to you? And from there, I was able to connect with Ms. Janet Avery. This is where, being able to chime in from around the world, in Singapore, participating in these chats, even in Dubai a little bit. But the funniest thing about Janet was actually Robert Marzano was presenting in Boise, and she happened to be live tweeting from the presentation from the conference. I'm like, one, how are you in Boise and I'm not meeting you? Because I'd never met her in real life. And two, how do I get in? So my first experience meeting Janet Avery was in the lobby of the convention center of where he was speaking, so that I could kind of stand at the back door and listen in. And I was just so grateful, the idea that she didn't have it all about what the label and titles were. She just knew I was a teacher wanting to learn more and invited me in. And from all of that, participating in these Twitter chats, I have a link, but I'm not going to try to access it right now. So I'll see if I can drop it in the chat later, where you can actually access this calendar. I think it's under, so it's a bit.ly, and then it's a capital E, ed, capital C, chats, and then capital MST for Mountain Standard Time. I'm sure if you got all that. But it is where you can just add that calendar to your calendar and see what time all of the chats are getting started. And then September of 2019 was definitely a pivotal point. Paige can attest that I tend to work best and fastest at the last minute, and maybe stressed her out a bit tonight or right now, whatever, I don't know. But this was the end of my first year living in Singapore. The applications were due July 3rd. And actually, I take that, they were due July 7th. And when school got out, I went on vacation. I went on an anniversary trip with my husband, and I filled in my application on July 3rd. So 3rd to the 7th, I got that baby in. And I was pretty sure this was just an experience. It wasn't really going to work. And when I was in Thailand, I got the news that I made it. And still to this day, I have a hard time believing it. So one of the major things that you hear about in Google Innovator, and I think in a lot of these other things, Paige touched on it a bit, is this idea of the imposter syndrome, of thinking that you don't really belong, and like, how did you trick people into believing that you did? And I definitely felt that way. Even up to the day where I stood in front of a crowd and presented my Innovator project, I was still pretty sure they were going to kick me off at any point in time. This is an example of what happens in the Innovator Academies. You sit around and ideate. You come up with ideas and plans, and you work together, and you brainstorm, and you ring a fail bell, and you support each other. And it was the most magical 3 days of my life. But I have to tell you that this one particular photo right there is Naomi Toland out of, I think she's in New Zealand now. She's been around the world as well. But this was day one. And I was texting my husband the entire time that I was there saying, I need to leave. Like, I don't belong here. These people are legit. You'll notice in the picture next to that is Adam Hill out of Hong Kong. I mean, these are some top people. What am I doing here? And I kind of didn't want to go back for day two. But then I ran into Naomi, and it turned out we had a matching shirt on. And just from that moment on, I felt like, well, at least I wore the right uniform for it today and had the right shirt to be able to participate. And I've realized my role is just different than a lot of the other people's roles. I don't do the same thing, but I don't want to. Like, doing this, reaching out, connecting with Paige, I'm hitting the level of involvement that I know is still helping teachers. So, and that's down in the picture. Chris Smith, if you haven't checked out smithvisualizations.com, it's amazing, the stuff this guy does with data. And then to the right is Miss Stephanie Rothstein, and she's the Northern California GEG leader, and she is just dinner and a show. So again, even if I didn't belong there, let's just say I totally didn't. What was I thinking being there? I made some great friends and great connections, and they can't kick me out now because it's over. So I'm really glad that I went. Benefits and the process. So you fill in an application, they make the announcement, you go for 3 days of this Innovator Academy when it was in person. And I really hope it gets back to in person again. It just, that physical connection was amazing. The impact it's had on my personal life and professional life has been, again, more networking, communicating, and a sense of confidence, knowing that I can do hard things. We already discussed Power PLNs. This is the slide I stole from Abbott. Sorry, Abbott, but I love you. And then if you want more information, there's a link. And I can, we'll hyperlink and we'll send out this slide deck so that you can go through and get all of our links after the show. Here's how you go through for Certified Educator. It is $25. It's valid for 3 years. So you have to sort of keep on and keep going through. Oh, wait, this one's level 2. So we've already covered this one. I was like, wait a minute, I didn't remember that. So skip that. GEG Global Mission. So GEG Idaho is part of the umbrella of GEG Global, which has only been around for the last few years. This was in an effort to bring together all those little offshoots that were sort of occurring in every state independently. So I know that like Simon Miller has done an amazing job with Paul Zimmerman and Janet Avery and Jim with connecting Idaho teachers together, presenting. But it was always sort of like every state did things differently. So the GEG umbrella is an effort to bring people together, to provide some continuity and more resources so that to be a leader or captain in this, you can reach out to other captains and leaders and connect and get help and resources to then be able to help the educators in your area. So now that we've gotten through the majority of that, if you're interested in being on the Idaho Google Educator Group team, so we have a team and then we have roles for 5 captains. And Paige and I are the co-leaders. And Carrie, Jim, and Katie have their captain applications in, but I don't think there's been direct assignments yet. So if you would like to apply for captain or co-captain of one of them, or you just want to be involved in on the team, please access that link right there, the bit.ly GEG Idaho interest. And Paige and I will go through and check those out and reach out to you, contact you, see what your level of involvement is and what you would like to do. You can always follow us on Twitter at Idaho GEG. I was so mad I couldn't do GEG Idaho, but whatever, there it is. Keep in touch on Instagram and Facebook. So there's designated pages there. And then you're always welcome to email us at gegidaho@gmail.com. So coming up, we have nothing planned for next.
We're going to be better planned though next time, right, Karen?
I was planned in my head. It just didn't come out all the way. But now that we've worked out some of the kinks with StreamYard and sharing the screen, I feel like the last 5 minutes.
No, it was good.
20 minutes, right?
It was
Like,
just
we finally
the
got it.
first is Bumpy.
Woo!
So thanks for sticking with us, you guys.
Thank
we
you,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you even just want to send out ideas, if you're like, I would like a session on whatever because you struggle with it, send us an email. Suggestions, topics, all of those social media profiles are available. And Katie, I'm not sure if you're still there, but I'm going to pull back all of our amazing presenters. I had to think, what word am I looking for here? And if you all can just in 1 second, 2 seconds or less, I keep unmuting and it's not unmuting. I'll try again. Oh, can't unmute your guests because they chose to mute themselves. Oh, look at Carrie and Jim being like such little rebels there. Oh, Jim's in now. Anyways, so if you guys would like to jump in, what's one thing you hope to see happen with the GEG group? And yeah, let's do that. Go ahead, Jim.
I am hoping that we can have a bit more statewide collaboration. I mean, up here in the north, sometimes we feel pretty disconnected from the other parts of the state, and we can bring ourselves all together through Google.
Yay! I love it.
And I love what Janet just said. Hopefully this can become an Idaho Ed Chat topic once a month. I think that would be brilliant. Yes, we would love that.
And anyone else is free to do the streaming and the broadcasting.
Well, and we can help facilitate that too if you guys need help. Yes, we can. So I'm telling Karen, yes, we can.
Yes, we can. All right, Katie, what have you got?
I just hope we get people to apply and join too. So I'm excited to see those come through.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And Katie, unmute yourself.
Or Carrie.
Well, I'm Carrie, but I'll go ahead and unmute myself.
Okay.
What I really hope to do is to be able to connect with educators. Part of my job is to support educators, especially in the tech world. I provide professional development training and do all kinds of things. And so I'm hoping that I can find ways to further continue to support educators throughout the state, and that Idaho PTV can support them because that's what we're here for. So.
Yeah, and I want my Southeastern Idaho people to represent. I'm a Southeastern Idaho girl, Blackfoot, woo. So I would like to see Idaho Falls, Pocatello, all of those, Lava, Hot Springs, McCammon. Let's like go deep. Like I would love some rural places to help contribute to this because you guys have something to offer and I'd love you to be a part of this community as well.
we forgot to mention one important thing. Paige has been doing a lot of work in the background to get this available for credit through University of Idaho.
So I'm working on University of Idaho. I will probably do NNU. Carrie, we might want to talk about ISU. So this isn't set in stone yet, but it's definitely something that we're working on as well.
Which you can all count 1 hour towards that just by being a part of this event tonight. This would get you 1 hour toward that goal. So we'll try to get you more of that information. Again, it will be posted through our various links. So make sure that you check in there. And you know, Paige, one of the goals I think you and I both had for a while is we're kind of dinner and a show. And we'd really like to take this show on the road.
Tonight we were...
we're like warmed up TV dinner.
Yes, exactly.
But that's okay.
And then it looks like Tyler Keefe and his Teacher Dudes podcast. We would love you to participate, Tyler.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be fun. But teachers all over Idaho, reach out because I would love Paige and I, we could come up and visit and maybe do a session or a whole school training.
Tammy Rigby's the Southeast Idaho girl.
Yeah, she is.
Woo!
Okay.
Yay.
Wow.
Okay.
Paige is getting very excited now about all this.
Yes. Okay.
Deep Idaho. So that hits us at about the 1 hour mark, and we're really trying to stick to that time frame for you guys. So keep the chat going, send us a message, and other than that, I think we're peace out.
Thank you, you guys. We appreciate you coming.
Thank you.